lots of noise. Bring the speaker.
Actually, this is probably one of the I don't know, the seminal moments in the Chinese Head Tax Exclusion Act redress movement, when in 2005 the Liberal government of Paul Martin and the opposition party at that time of Stephen Harper colluded to provide a no apology, no compensation redress, which was accepted, by the way, by every organization in Chinatown. At least the way the government put it, they took the name of every organization in Chinatown and said they support it. And that included my organization and a number of organizations which specifically opposed it. So that tells you some example of what we had to do to turn it around, because you have the opposition party and the government doing a no apology, no compensation redress. So when that happened, what I call the Uncle Tongs, you've heard of Uncle Toms? Uncle Tomahawks? Well, we have our Uncle Toms. So our Uncle Toms and anti-egg rolls, they had a big meeting here, and everybody from across Canada came here, and the Prime Minister was going to be here, and they were going to sign the agreement in principle for the no apology, no compensation agreement. We thought we were hooped. It was one of the darkest moments. I've been in this thing for 30 years, and that was one of the darkest moments we ever had. We didn't know what to do. Consulted elders, consulted a whole bunch of people, and many of you may have heard of Charlie Kwan. He was 99 years old. He came out and he suggested, when I asked him where we were, he said, in that sort of Lo-Wa-Kyo, old overseas wisdom and poetry of his, he says, can't do nothing, gotta do something, but I don't know what to do. And we just thought about it and I said, yes, we need to do something. And at 9 o'clock, about a week before the rally happened, he phoned me and he said, I've got it. And we went down to the Kwan Association, which was the only, I should say, the only organization, which is why it's in here, the only organization in Chinatown that would put their name down as opposing the no apology, no compensation thing. And it has a lot to do with Guangdong, and you should know this, which is a whole other story, which is before Chinese became Christians, they actually had another spiritual underpinning. And as you know, many of the religions are from there. But getting back to this, Charlie phoned me and said, I got it. And at 9 o'clock at night, and he says, we'll go down to the clan hall, we'll decide what to do and whatever. And he said, and then he called the clan elders together and said, this is what we'll do. We're going to pray for help. We'll pray to Guangdong for help. And really, as God is my witness, and my grandfather was a believer, most Chinatown restaurants you'll see a Guangdong still. And from then on it just went click, click, click. I bring this spiritual thing in because I think that a lot of things we talk about, you know, what keeps people strong? Why do they do that? Because they have something, and we may call it a spirit, we may call it a conscience, we just may call it something, and this is what it is. From that moment on, I think it was, we had 1 week to organize. We organized a rally here, and quite honestly, this was the seminal moment. The Prime Minister came and he was greeted by 200 seniors, well, 150. I'm talking about seniors not like me at 65 and all that. I'm talking seniors. 2 of them were over 100 years old. Over 100 years old came out on the street to protest the no apology, no compensation deal. A whole bunch in the 90s, a whole bunch in the 80s. And as you recall, the election happened in February, and this was in November. And right after this rally, there was one, John Cummings, a conservative MP, and 2 other conservatives candidates for the election who were nominated were at the rally. I just went and smoozed them. They looked and they could tell this is no ordinary rally. This is just nobody's ever seen it. And it's on video. I have it all taped. It's all encapsulated. I wish I could send it out. But anyhow, what happened on this, and I'm so pleased, Gene and Joey, thank you very much for adding it on, because in many ways this was a bit of an afterthought, because when Gene brought this up with me, I said, wow, you know, like you're doing the downtown east side markers of resistance and all this. You know, Chinatown's in the downtown east side. You know, maybe you should have something about what Chinatown did. And it really came down to two. One of them was the freeway, which was not particularly, like we talk about